look at them, they are going to the base of it to feed on it. As you can be seeing it, as you are looking at it, they are going under the water hyacinth. You can see they are feeding on the root of the Hi guys, good morning. You are welcome once again to Catfish Solution Academy. In here, we give you in-depth information about catfish farming. Yeah, today is there's a comment on my comment section below. Somebody was asking, because I was talking about how to feed the natural way of feeding your fishes through using Azzola, Duckweed, and the helpful of water hyacinth too as well. So I had a lot of comments that can I use it to feed my grow out fishes? Which type of fishes, size of fishes can I use in feeding? Because basically when I normally do the practical explanation, I normally use it in feeding the juvenile, feeding the post fingerlings, feeding the fingerlings too as well. But somebody said, is it possible for me to do a practical video on how to use in feeding your grow out fishes? So today I'm just citing an example, a little example of what I preach too as well. So this morning, what you are watching here is that you are watching much of your duckweed and your little bit of Azzola and the what we call the water hyacinth. What really happened is that all these three brands of supplementary floating feed I described this morning are eatable, are supplementary feed, organic supplementary feed for your fishes too as well. They love it, they eat it. This morning, what I poured here covers all the small pond as you are seeing, but they are finished it to an extent. You can see the gap that is left. That means they are eating it perfectly. So by the time I will come back to show you in another 1 hour's time, I bet you all the duckweed and the water hyacinth will have been disappeared from the pond. But the good thing about them is that the water hyacinth, because if the water hyacinth start recursioning, it started growing more of the weed. That means one of the roots. So by the time you look at them, they are going to the base of it to feed on it. As you can be seeing it, as you are looking at it, they are going under the water hyacinth. You can see they are feeding on the root of the water hyacinth. So because in the root there are some seedlings that reproduce the water hyacinth too as well. So it's all those seedlings they first feed on. After finishing the root, they will start eating the tree, the plant himself. So let me just show you. These are what they are picking. The root is a very long root, as you can see. It's a long root. I just put this in maybe another one about 2 minutes time, and the root is almost like this. So they have fed it to this level, and by the time they finish feeding all this, they started eating all this. So by the time I put it back on the inside the pond, they will start feeding on it. So I will put more of my duckweed and the Azzola plant inside, and by the time you see, they will started feeding on it. So if I should come back here in another 20 to 30 minutes time, they will have finished all the weed, the floating weeds that I put on the water. Look at something that I want to let you know. If you can get all these kind of floating plants for your fishes, one, most of the advantages, especially the Azzola plant, is that Azzola, I told you before, Azzola has well over 9% of the amino acid profile that go for the growth of the fishes. And what are the amino acids? There are a lot of amino acids that grows fish, that fishes need. Some of them are the lysine, some of them are the vitamin, likes and that. So all these plants has those balanced nutritional diets that can grow your fish very, very fast, and they have enough crude protein to grow your fishes. Conveniently, if you don't have any other feed to feed your fish, like the natural grains feed to feed your fishes, these people can survive on this plant conveniently, and they will do much better as much as they are getting it. Another thing that's happening is that if you are in a place that is not covered and you start to experience a lot of sun ray, by the time all this covers the pond, there will not be much sun to penetrate on inside, so that this can be giving them some stress. So these are helpful in order to shade them from stress. So conveniently, they will eat and respond to feed perfectly. And I told you something, that if you are getting this kind of a plant and if you cannot get much of it, that means you cannot get plenty of it, what you can do is that you can feed your fishes with your normal grains in the morning, and you feed them in the evening with either Azzola or Duckweed. Or if you can get enough of the water Hyacinth, you can just put millions of it on your pond, and I will bet you your fishes will do over better. And the good thing about it is that your fishes will highly retain, they will be strong enough, because they have all of the amino acid that can buffer their growth, that can give them more strength. The chances of getting diseases is extremely very, very low, because the plants too are highly medicinal. So you can see the one I put now, they are even taking part of it. There are a lot of space here too as well now. So, but I will try to introduce them to the normal feed. Try to introduce them to the normal feed. So because they have eat much of this, you can see when I'm putting the feed, some of them will start feeling it's not like when they are highly hungry that they will be rushing the feed. So they will now be coming and started responding to the feed. So you can see their response, but the difference there is that it's quite different than when you are giving them this feed in the morning. You will see the way they respond, because they have taken something. That means they are over 30% okay, so their response to this will not be too harsh unlike before. Once again, I will be telling you, I'll be weighing this fish again to you in another weeks plus, when there will be 3 months. This is the fishes I weigh to you when they are 2 months, and they are going to 3 months. So I will be weighing them to you, and you'll see it on this video when they are 3 months, a few weeks now. So you can see their response. So the good thing about it is that, like if I'm giving them this handful 10 in the morning, I will have to give them maybe just 5 food in the morning, and I will leave the rest for them to be feeding on the much needed Azzola and the Duckweed. So by the time you look at this, as I'm still feeding them, they are still eating the plants. So by the time I come back here in just 30 minutes, you will see that they might have finished all the plants. So the good thing about it is that the cost of feed presently gets skyrocketed on a weekly basis. And what are the ways that you can still sustain in the business? These are the ways you can sustain in the business. It's quite difficult. Why difficult is that most people don't know how to culture this. It's very, very simple to culture. If you can culture it, and it started the culturing, you have escaped through the mess. So I will advise you guys to make sure that you follow suit and you do things when due. So once again, my name is still maybe Dr. Aditya, your anchor of Catfish Solution Academy, where we give you in-depth information about catfish farming. So if you are the likes that have not gotten most of my journals, my educative journals on catfish farming, and presently I have over 11 journals, that means the e-books on catfish farming, which I talked about the grow out, I talked about the melange, I talked about the disease, I talked about your financial the business plan and how to start business with nothing. Lot of it. They are voluminous. I talked about the smoke capsule business, which are highly, and even the terminologies, the English that are inputted in order is well understandable by anybody. So make sure that you get a copy of it. How can you get a copy of it? We have two ways of getting a copy of it. One, you can get my line on the screen now. That's my WhatsApp number. WhatsApp me that you need a copy. Tell me the one you needed, or I will tell me your problems, the challenges you are having, and I will tell you the books that will guide you. Again, I have a book on the common disease symptoms and treatment. That means any kind of diseases that you can feel that your fishes may have, the symptoms and how to take care of them. You can get it through me directly, or if you need a download, some people said they need a download. If you need a download, go to seller.co. I'll give you my profile there. Copy it now. I'll put it at the down, and it will be showing on the screen too. Make sure that you copy it. Go to seller, go to my profile, buy your books, and you download. So thank you so much. God bless you all.